Hey, what's happening? Before we jump into the show, I wanted to see if you had any music on a hard drive. You have a band, you have a project, and you want to self-release your own music. Well, there's an easy way to do it. You can go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate and go get your music up on all the streamers. You keep 100% of your royalties, and you can get 30% off by using this code. It's a great, easy way to get your music up on the streamers and share it with your fans, your friends, your family, your mom, your dog, everybody. Everyone wants to hear it. But go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate, HYPHENATE, and send me the link. I want to hear it too. Send your mom the link. Send your dog the link. They all want to hear it too. We'd like to thank our sponsor, iZotope, the absolute leaders in intuitively designed plugins for audio restoration, mixing, and mastering. At iZotope.com, you'll find a plethora of tools and suites that will enhance your audio production, whether it's voice, video, podcast, or a full production recording session. Check out the industry-standard audio repair tool, RX11, or the multi-tool mixer plugin, Neutron 5, or the powerful Ozone 11 mastering suite, plus tons more. Go to iZotope.com and use the code FRET10 at checkout for 10% off. That's FRET10 to get 10% off at checkout. And again, the website is iZotope.com, IZOTOPE.com. What's happening? Welcome to Hyphenate Halftime. This is our show for Monday, October 6th. Happy spooky month. With me, as always, is my ever spooky co-host, Mr. Aaron Farley. How is your bah humbugging and distaste of all things spooky going this year so far? 6 days in.
It doesn't feel like Halloween is very close yet.
No?
I feel like...
Okay.
I don't know. Does it feel like it to you? I guess that October comes in.
We're in full-blown October. It's also my wife's birthday month. She has a birthday at the end of the month, so she gets very excited for this, which I think helps with the overall festivities going.
Pisces, right?
That's me.
Pisces? You're Pisces.
Yeah, I don't know
what's this month. What's this month?
I could find out. I want to say maybe it's a Scorpio or something. Let's see. End of October birthday sign. What is that? Libra. Is that right?
Oh, Libra. Okay.
Oh no, that ends around October 22nd. Who comes up with these dates? Oh, Scorpio begins on October 24th to November 22nd. So she's a Scorpio. So Pisces and Scorpio, that must be a thing, right? I don't know.
Should be. I mean, probably. Yeah. Yes. 100%.
Right? Yeah.
No, I think there's something I believe with Libras, or at least October birthdays, where everyone loves their whole, that's the birthday.
They do the month. Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. Birthday month people.
Libras and maybe Scorpios, but who knows?
Well,
I think Libras, though, very famous for the birthday month.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, I guess according to Google AI, Pisces and Scorpios often share an incredibly deep, passionate, and soulmate level connection due to their shared water sign element. I always think, I tell her that all the time. I was like, this water sign element we have here, you can feel it. It also fosters a natural understanding of each other's emotional depths and a strong mutual attraction. All right. Okay. There it goes. While their bond is characterized by profound intimacy and a search for quote unquote the one, challenges can arise from Scorpio's intensity and possessiveness. Oh, and then I hit the wrong button. Coupled with Pisces' evasiveness during conflict, requiring strong communication and vulnerability to overcome. Wow.
Okay.
Well, I don't relate to any of that.
Does that sound right?
No. I'm a strong-headed lone wolf in the desert who flies on the wings of eagles. No, it sounds exactly right. I mean, all of these things always. They're all like, they're all. I mean,
they're right enough.
It's sure, you know what I mean. Like as long as
it's years and years of stars that people are looking at to try to figure out what these brains of ours are filled with.
Sure, yeah, it means something. Yeah, well, it's exciting. So no Halloween happening there. Your kids don't have their costumes picked out. We've had our costumes picked out for like the last month. We're like eight weeks ahead of costumes. No, okay.
No, we haven't thought about it. But I mean, maybe the kids have. I don't know.
If you don't talk
we
about
asked them.
That's private.
We asked them if they are like, if you guys are you dressing up for Halloween this year? And they're like, what? Yeah, duh,
Dad,
of course.
Oh, that's good. That's good. They're not too cool for that yet.
But I felt like when we were in high school, there was the maybe sophomore year, like once you could drive, people were like, you don't get to do Halloween anymore. I feel like
Right.
that was a little
Well,
bit
you
of,
couldn't trick or treat, but you could have
you couldn't
parties. I
trick or
feel like
treat.
there was definitely always a party element. It was a reason to go out over to
Yeah.
someone's house and then
Yeah.
go to someone
You
else's
lived in
house.
LA, well, in the LA area though. I
Yeah.
don't feel like,
I see.
maybe I wasn't cool enough. I didn't get invited to the Halloween parties. Maybe that's where my distaste, my distaste comes from.
This is
I'm like, you know what?
We've
I
unlocked
don't
it.
even like Halloween anyway.
You got a lump of coal. Did you get one of those apples
Yes.
with razor blades in it they always talked about?
Yes. Yeah. Have you ever heard those stories? I feel like it was a This American Life,
Mm-hmm.
where they were like, you know what? We're gonna go find out like where these stories came from and interview the people, and they realized they were all made up.
Of course.
Like all of those, like every single one of like just to scare.
They're not Skittles.
just
And so they emptied all the
scare-
Skittles and they put all these like drugs, all these pills in the Skittles
Right.
bag. And so you got to check.
And they were like, they tried to find one real story from
Anybody.
any like emergency room or anything of like a razor blade and an apple, or, and then you just think of that and go, that is diabolical. It's diabolical that someone had the idea of like, wait a second, I know how to get. I mean, it shows where we're at now, and it probably, you know, these things I'm sure happened forever before this, even before these Halloween stories, the fake Halloween stories. But that negative, like, scare people into completely, you know, you really think like, well, it was probably the candy companies that did it, because they're like, well, you don't give any fresh.
Oh, you need wrapped.
You don't give any fresh things. You need packaged, safe packaged candy.
That's a smart idea. Yeah.
And then, you know, you get the safe packaged candy, and then forever, and then that candy gets like smaller and smaller, and then you get like these little tiny things. You're like, well, this is Halloween now. It's just like these little safe packaged candies. You don't get like caramel apples,
Snickle bars. Oh yeah,
yeah,
nothing craft.
I remember getting like homemade Rice Krispie treats.
Really?
And like, oh yeah, totally.
Okay, well, that might have been those couple of years difference between us. Yeah, because
probably
by the end of the '80s, or you know, the late '80s, it was all mini, fun sized everything.
Well, yeah. I still remember the cul-de-sac and the house in the cul-de-sac that gave out full-size Snicker bars every single year. 100%. I could walk there from my old house right now.
You still know how to get it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You should knock
Everyone knew.
You should knock on the door and ask if they have any Snickers this year.
Mm-hmm.
God,
kids.
We did Halloween in Spokane one year, and it was freezing.
Oh
it was very different than LA. Yeah, I mean the kids had to have jackets, like big, like kind of winter coats over their costumes, and then they would like take the coat off and like show the person, like, hey, like almost like a flasher, like take the coat off, like, hey, this is my costume, or, you know, and then they would get the candy.
Yeah, you do like you'd have a lot of cold themed
costumes,
because
you'd have
Michelin
to do Man. What's it
or just like, you know, something from a movie that was cold. I don't know.
Or do you John Candy from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Yes, exactly. Everyone went as John Candy.
Yeah. No, but here
a lot of times
that warm. This was like I remember growing up. It was kind of like that day. Like usually the time change was around Halloween. I'm sure it's everywhere, but then it would start to get that little bit of crispness in the air, just that little, just like in LA where it just drops below 70 into the 60s, and you're like, ooh, all right, now we're
60s and no sun.
Yeah,
like, wow,
it's getting darker earlier. 7 o'clock, it's dark, and you got to have a light zip up hoodie on. Ooh, it's spooky. That's how you knew things were changing.
Yeah, a lot of times Halloween, every couple of years, Halloween would be the first day that it snowed a little bit.
Wow.
Like you'd get like a little bit of snow at night.
They can't handle that. Yeah. And then that's it for the rest
but
of the
we get
year.
that up here too.
Really? Wow.
We get that up here. I feel like the last couple years Halloween has been pretty cold. You're just like out there in jackets and
Well, I was going to suggest that we should watch, following up on our hugely successful Spymon Sci-Fi Con summer,
Oh yeah.
that we should have some kind of like horror movie themed movie
Oh, okay.
watching. I'm not big on horror movies. I think we have talked about this in the past. I'm
Me
not.
neither.
So I think we'd have to come up with a list of like
Thrillers.
something like horror adjacent. I think one of my favorite horror films, and it is barely counts as a horror movie, but it's just spooky enough, is Halloween 3, The Season of the Witch. Have you seen
Haven't
this one?
it. No.
I would suggest that as like,
Okay.
because
Is it a slasher
just
movie?
no. That's the best part of it, is the Halloween series, was a fluke and kind of created, it's sort of in essence the grandfather, the granddad of all slasher movies, was the original John Carpenter Halloween 1, and that sort of kicked off this whole idea of it. And then they followed up with Halloween 2, which is kind of more of the same. But then by Halloween 3, John Carpenter was burned out. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. He wanted to make The Thing. He wanted to make, all these, he had other movies. They Live. He had other ideas of things he wanted to make.
Yeah.
He didn't want to keep making the same movie again every year. So he pitched it as like an anthology series. Like, well, why does it have to always be about this one guy, Michael Myers? Like, we kind of did that. That was those first two movies. So Halloween 3, there was no Michael Myers.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, and I'll just leave it there. But I think
Okay.
it's good. There's one scene that kind of gives you the heebie-jeebies maybe, but it's not really that scary at all. And it's really fun. It's fun. It's my version of like a fun horror film, I feel like.
Okay.
So there's a couple of them.
I don't think I've seen Halloween.
Oh, okay. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen the whole thing. I've only seen parts of it.
Yeah.
It seems too freaky. I remember as a kid, my brother's watching it and I like walked in on it like that. I've never seen the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre either, for that same reason. My brothers were watching it, and I like saw part of it and they yelled at me like, "No, get out of here!" And I remember just this chainsaw like cutting a guy's leg off or something. Yeah. And, all these like weird hippies in a van. Probably just the first.
That's probably the scariest part.
Just hippies in 8mm.
What are all those hippies in the van?
Yeah, they're
get
all
out of
in
here.
VW van. And my memory is like that. Like the Leatherface was like laying on the ground. He like the chainsaw falls and cuts. He ends up cutting his own leg off or something. But I could is all just kid nightmare stuff. I also saw Poltergeist 2. Really little at a summer camp thing where we'd go down camping, and there was this nice campground we'd go to with the RVs, and they would show movies for kids, or for just show like movies around like after campfire time. And we're walking into that, and like the kid's braces came out and wrapped around his whole face, and then the dad drank a tequila with a worm inside of it, and then he turned into a big worm monster. Again, I don't know if any of these things actually happened, but it scared me so much. I had like nightmares for years about the poltergeist guy.
Oh my god! Now they would just show Toy Story,
right?
Yeah.
We don't. We're not going to show
whose idea.
Horror.
John has this great idea. It's like
the camp.
It will be nice and fun and scary for the kids. Let's show them Poltergeist too. Okay,
so
we're all high back here anyway.
Yeah, who gives a shit? I definitely had some traumatic early horror film things, so I stay away from those. But I do like kid horror, or like real like goofy or vintagey, I think like Universal horror movies are
like
are
Little
fun.
Nicky,
kind of spooky. Sure, yeah, Little Nicky.
That's a Halloween movie, right?
Yeah,
isn't it?
I
feel like.
What are you talking about? Why are you looking at me?
But didn't it happen during Halloween?
Little Nicky? Maybe it was Hoobie's Halloween. Hoobie's Halloween? Is that what you're thinking
Hoobie's Halloween? There's that one. Oh my god, we could watch all the bad Halloween movies.
Well, then Hotel Transylvania 1 through 4. I don't know if you've seen. Were your kids too old for those? Or
I love those.
Did they catch the?
Those are my favorites.
Okay, yeah, those are great.
I love Hotel Transylvania. Yeah. Also, I feel like I'm getting a lot of scenes from 80s movies in my head.
Oh yeah,
like Karate Kid happened during Halloween.
There's a Halloween scene in there. Oh yeah,
right?
Of course.
E.T. Was
E.T. Halloween? Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, it's right here in the neighborhood. We're not too far from where that is. I've driven by it, and you can we time it up on the phone, like watch the clips on YouTube,
amazing.
and then like look around, like, hey, it's right here. But they do turn a corner, and then they end up in Porter Ranch. So when they're riding the bikes, they're like another half hour down the road. But so just scenes, Halloween scenes. Oh yeah, okay, I could do that. Like,
what else? I feel like Halloween was like a.
Well, it's like saying Die Hard's a Christmas movie because it takes place during Christmas. Like, what are the movies that aren't scary movies, but they take place during Halloween?
Oh my god, there's probably a million of them.
Yeah,
because I feel like. Do you feel like Halloween peaked in the 80s? I feel like the 80s was peak Halloween.
Well, that might just be for our generation. I don't know. I mean, it's, I would imagine if we
Just
were
I mean, just thinking about it now of like how many
the big commercial
kids,
push.
like how many movies were based around Halloween, that Halloween really went from like a time that your mom or grandma like made you a Halloween costume in the 70s and
Hmm.
earlier. It was
Oh,
very
right.
much
Well, yeah.
like you got like a lot of homemade things. And then when you were a kid too, but I
Oh
think
no,
you're
my
right.
mom
Like those
made
four,
the homemade Halloween costumes probably till about third grade for me. Yeah, and
that's
she'd
what I had
recycle
too.
them. Yeah.
But then that was right when the like plastic, like you just
Oh,
be
right.
like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be Superman, but it would just be like a pullover over your head, and it had like a picture of Superman's body on it, but it was just like a piece of plastic.
Yeah.
And then you'd get like a really crappy plastic mask that was just like right over the front of your face. And that was that moment when like Halloween really became like, oh wait, this could be as big as Christmas, guys. Like we need to
We
push
need to
this Halloween
merchandise
thing.
this thing. Yeah, we were onto something here.
It became extremely merchandised. Same as McDonald's, same times,
Oh,
right?
the
Like
Happy Meals.
McDonald's was like, hey, it's a thing. And then Happy Meal came and they were like, oh, wait a second. We also need a ball pit. And we need a playground, a ball pit. We need the a huge grimace, and we need a hamburger that you can ride and like spin around on a hamburger. This is great. It's not all about food. It's about money.
Oh,
It's
well,
about
it
money,
always was
money,
about
money,
money.
money.
Yeah. Did you see that? You
Yes.
saw the founder, the Michael Keaton version of
Mm,
the story of
I haven't
McDonald's.
seen it.
Oh, it's great.
No.
We
Is that
we had that book on tour for a couple. We had that. Well, we had there's a book called Grinding It Out, the Ray Kroc story. I think I've talked about
wow?
this on the podcast before.
I love that name for that book.
Grinding It Out, the Ray Kroc story. Yeah. So he didn't create McDonald's, but he franchised McDonald's, and he like, you know,
Right.
grinding it out is so good on so many levels. He like basically ground out the original McDonald brothers. But so Dean read the book on tour, and you know, it was just like a little paperback we found at a thrift store or something for 10 cents. We just had it in the van all the time. I just remember this. And
Yeah.
but it became like a euphemism or a metaphor for us. Like whenever like tour was just hard, or just so you know, just like, oh, this is gonna be a brutal day. We gotta drive 12 hours and load ins at like 4, and when do we like just no sleep? But it was like grinding it out. The Ray Kroc
Yeah.
story. That's what
The
we're
Ray
doing.
Kroc
This is what we're
story.
doing. Come on, guys. The Ray Kroc story. If Ray Kroc could do this, this is how.
Is that going to be your book, Grinding It Out, the
Grinding It
No
Out.
Age Story? Just steal
It
half
could.
the title.
It definitely could. We were grinding it out for so long. But but they did the movie version of it, and it's really good. But it's always about money. The big thing that they talk about in there is that the franchisees owners, right, their franchisers
Yeah.
would have to pay McDonald's for all the stuff, right,
Yeah.
all the things and the equipment and the licensing. But that wasn't the thing. It was the real estate. That like the McDonald's corporation owned the land that the stores were on, and so there's no money in the stores. There's no money in 10-cent hamburgers or whatever it is, Happy Meals. Like that's enough profit, whatever like small margin of profit there is from those. That's what the franchisees get, but it's the rent. The corporation, the McDonald's corporation owns all the land. And so they'll find an intersection, a busy intersection, or a mini mall that's at the right place all the time. And they have their real estate team, you know, find the pieces of land, and then they offer the franchise, you know, for license or for sale.
Yeah.
And then people can buy them, and, you know, I'm sure they do fine, but really they can then turn around. So they charge rent on it, you know, because you have to pay the rent for the place to them. And then they can turn around and sell it. You know, there's so much more money in real estate.
So they're just a real estate company.
Yeah,
company.
Exactly. Just like Starbucks is really a milk company. The amount of milk that's, you know, sold by and finance. And yeah. Anyway, they hold a lot of gift card potential sales. Have we talked about this? It's the whole thing of like,
so like prepaid.
Yeah,
so
the prepaid stuff, and because then they can invest that, and then they can make fractional interest on the amount of money that they own, the pre-profits of stuff that hasn't actually been sold yet, because people buy the gift cards every year, or they have their own gift cards. You pay, you can reload your phone or your gift card thing for your own purchases if you know you spend like whatever, and they offer incentives for you to buy or make your purchases at the beginning of every month. So then now
Yeah.
they own it. They own the
It's
business before.
basically like-
So then when they actually do give you the 10 cents worth of milk and coffee water, they've
And
already spent your money. It's already invested into something else.
Yeah, you're
Or
$20.
It's earning.
somewhere else.
Well, yeah, you give them $20 and now they're earning interest on that. I mean, just interest
Every
is great
single
now.
day you don't spend it.
Right. Yeah.
Jeez.
This is the
People are
real
so
the real story is not the product. It's the financing
true.
and it's the of course, right? Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
It's like you never want to build, you never want to own the thing. You want to own the company that makes the batteries for all the things.
Right. It was shovels. That's what they
Yeah.
always heard. On the way to
Right.
the gold rush, it wasn't the guys who were looking for gold that made the money. It was the guy selling the shovel in front of the
Yeah.
gold rush. You want to be the guy who's selling the shovels to everyone going to the gold rush.
Yeah, you want to be the guy with only 10 shovels left.
Right. Yeah.
So you'd be like, well, guys, I only have 10 shovels left and there's 50 of you.
We need,
I'm going to have to raise these prices a little bit.
That's what we're going through now. It's groceries,
Yeah.
huh? Like it's insane. I've seen stories. It's like,
It's just the worst. It's the worst.
it's
I'm
the
sorry.
worst.
That's a very smart. It's very smart. It's very smart of Starbucks to do that. But to business wise, but to see the longevity, you got to go like, okay, well, so this isn't going to last, is it?
Well, they're hurting. I mean, they're closing Starbucks. This is the first
Totally.
time they're really downsizing stores in really the history, where it was always the expansion, and this whatever cultural war, civil war that we're involved in, and as well as trade war and war on the poor, class war that we're actively involved in every day. That we're sort of kept mildly passively involved in, but it's hurting business. It's hurting vacations, destinations, and all of these kinds of things.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you think like 30% of people buying less gift cards, and you're like, wait, where'd all that investment money go?
You have a business model that's set up to run a business, like this kind of business, not just the selling coffee business. You're like, oh, we can't afford to pay minimum wage to 400,000 stores if people aren't buying the gift cards.
Yeah, or if all of the money is just getting sucked out of the top, like the straw in a venti coffee.
I drink your milkshake.
Yeah. Oh, keep putting the money in the straw. Put it in the straw. Jam it in the straw.
I always love the headlines where it's like, millennials or Gen Z is killing this industry or that is like mayonnaise. They're not buying mayonnaise, and it's like, who gives a fuck about mayonnaise? Like, but this is the big crunch of just, or like, it was like the sit downs. Like we've had a Sizzler and a Caro's close by us because Gen Z doesn't want to go buy overpriced salty steak.
Yeah. Wow. So
on a Sunday
weird.
night, they'd rather get an overpriced smash burger delivered from Grubhub to their house when they're playing PS5.
Because they're like, well, I'm not going to buy a house anyway, so why would I spend my money, or why would I save even $1?
Sure, yeah.
Because what's the point?
I could get a burger. I could get I could get weed and fast food delivered to my house at the same time. I never have to leave the house, and then I could work from home, and I never leave and go anywhere.
And then, but half of them, I feel like, are like, yeah, I don't need all the local stuff, and then I'm just going to go to like Peru for a month. The amount of young people that I see, it's like you're looking and you're like, oh, this person's traveling, and I'm like, you know what? I just decided to go to Brazil for every January, and I've met a person online that has a place, and and I'm like,
smart. Yeah, go for it.
You know what? Do it, because even I feel like we got on the very last train of buying a house. I feel like kind of in some kind of luck / I don't know, everything. But that, because even now, reading that, the amount of corporations that own, they're like, oh yeah, we actually own 320,000 single family homes in the United States, and
Zillow,
we're looking to go up to 500,000, so we can really hit our market cap of. And we're like, why do these people exist? Like, why are we letting these people do this? Because like it's not gonna, it can't be good. It can't be, because when they get enough money and the whole thing implodes, they're like, well, it doesn't matter because I live in Costa Rica. Like, what? Like, these people don't have to live in the
You mean
United.
the corporations?
Well, I mean, just like when that money goes away and the people that did it got the bonuses because they sold enough houses and bought enough places, and
Yeah.
like none of them actually have to live here. You know, like they have
Oh, I
enough
see
money
what
to
you're
go
saying.
wherever they want to go.
Yeah.
So you're not, like like none of these people, like I feel like if you own 4 rentals, right, 5 rentals,
I'm
you're not
listening.
making enough money to like, well, if my 5 rentals crash the economy of Spokane, at least I can get on my private jet and fly to the New Zealand to my
Dude.
compound or whatever. It's like you have people and you're like, well, I know the guys that own those houses. So if they're asshole, you wait till they come to collect the rent, and then you talk to, whatever. There's like
It's a person
like
there. Yeah.
where when it's small enough, there's at least a little bit of like, well, I don't really want to piss everyone off, but when it's so big, they're like, who are we even pissing off? I've never even met anyone that lives in any of these places.
Oh my God. I know you didn't watch the Fargo TV show, but there's a great season 3
Oh,
of
I did.
season
I
you watched all the
watched
Fargos? Okay.
most of them.
This
Yeah.
season 3 with Ewan McGregor where he plays the twins.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But there was the guy, the British guy that comes over and it's just like, took out all the loans in his name and they're going to default on him, and it's parking lots. He's just doing deals for parking lots and just all this thing. It was just like, oh, right. This kind of speaks to that sort of faceless, nameless, like who are the monsters that are really just like destroying like real estate and pulling all this financial fraud. It's like, okay, that put a pretty good face to him.
Yeah, wasn't that the thing with the smell too? Wasn't that a parking lot company?
Yeah,
that bought that?
Joe's Parking Lot owns that whole block. Yeah. Other than the place on the corner, there's an older building on the corner, but everything else on that whole entire block is property of the.
And let's be honest, parking lots. This is a genius business. You don't have to do anything.
Talk about rent, big landlord, like super vampire landlord. I sell like each square foot, for like each parking lot. What is that? Let's or each parking space is 4 feet by 10 feet. You have 40 square feet, and you could sell it for $20 an hour.
Yeah.
And then
if you drive onto my property and stay there for over 15 minutes, I get to charge you per minute.
Yeah. And if you
like, if what you other
tell me to fuck off, then then I own your car. Then I can just then I just tow your car.
I just lock the gate. Yeah. You can't get it.
What kind of insane like monster, but this is the kind of stuff where like if you realize like, oh yeah, Dracula doesn't need to suck blood anymore. He like owns parking lots. Or some kind of like Hannibal Lecter, torture person. It's like, oh yeah, they run HOAs and parking lots. Like we've basically like industrialized horror. You're bringing it back around to Halloween. That's the movie I want to see, is where you have like the universal classic horror monsters all like sitting at the top of corporations. Like like Wolfman runs the NFL or UFC or something, and it's just this whole thing about how like, the UFC like thing is like, yeah, we're just gonna get bloodthirsty. And
Lex Luthor kind of does run the UFC. That guy Dana White looks like Lex Luthor. Have you ever heard him talk? I hate that guy.
No.
He's the worst. He's the worst troll. He's like trolls. I'm just like, what? Why are we in the land of trolls? I thought all growing up, trolls were these like horrible things that just sat under the bridge and they would try their hardest to just be the worst, but they never really got to come out from under the bridge because they were the worst.
Yeah, because nobody wanted to be around them. They were unpleasant.
They were just insufferable, like creatures that, and you kind of felt bad for them a little bit until they started on whatever their thing was, and they're doing riddles and they're not letting people pass. And then all of a sudden we live in a land where the trolls have taken over the whole government. It's literally troll.
Oh.
I mean, it's trolling. They got there by trolling.
Yeah.
And now we're like, how did the trolls win? I don't like it.
I think it's a cultural conversation. I think, yeah. I mean, I think it's reflective of people's attention spans or something, you know what I mean? In order to, create marketing.
Well, they found out how to make us just
virality of
comfortable enough.
marketing. Yeah.
Yes.
But I do like this horror movie idea. So so I got a couple. I'll throw a couple more out at you. I'll do some more research.
Okay.
But maybe for next week we could do that. We could have had it for this week, but I was busy.
We'll do it.
I was busy this week.
Lila, man, I've been busy too. It's good. Yeah. I'm excited to hear about your story this week.
The
work story.
The session. Work. Yeah. Okay. But I'll give an update on Noisevember. Nobody's written me. No one's written me back. I reached out to a few noise people and got some very icy no replies. So
maybe you have to ask them.
We may have to. Would you like to be on the podcast? Yeah, maybe we have to put it off to Free Jazz February or something. We might have to rethink my approach here. I just assumed they would be interested in talking, but I'm getting the sense that they're. And maybe in a troll like fashion,
it might take a while.
I didn't think so. But if anyone else has any suggestions of where I should look for noise, maybe I'm just looking at an old school thing. Maybe we're all old curmudgeonly men that don't want to do podcasts. But
could be.
But if there's younger noise people, I'm down to talk noise. Maybe I'm just out. I'm just out. Might be out of the scene. Might be aged out of some of it. So. I will do some more research, but reach out, write us at hyphenate@gmail.com or find us on Instagram at Randy S. Randall or at Aaron Farley photo. No, just at Aaron Farley.
Just Aaron Farley.
It's just Aaron Farley. Yeah.
Two ways.
Find us. Let us know where's the noise podcast people at. We're looking for calling out noise people. Do we want to be on a podcast?
I feel like maybe we should put something up on our stories or something. I feel like there's got to be some noise people out there that are looking for
some noise.
Yeah, looking for a new venue to speak about noise. Maybe that's the whole thing. They're like, well, what am I going to talk about?
I'm socially maladjusted and live in basements.
So, can I bring my delay pedal? Can I talk through a delay pedal, please?
I would love that. Like Longmont Potion Castle. Fantastic.
Oh my God. Yeah. Did you know I met him once?
Yeah, what was the story? Yeah. I forget. Were you in Denver? Or you were in Colorado?
No, we were just in LA, and we were it's with Scott versus Wizard. Well, previously Scott Blows. Versus Wizard.
Oh no, the other Scott.
400. Well, but Scott was also in 400 Blows at the end. And we were at a friend's party, and he just had this really tall friend with him, and then he was like, oh yeah, this is Longmont. You heard Longmont Potion Castle? And we're like, yeah. I was like, that's the guy. He's the guy right here. Oh. And he was just kind of a quiet guy, as you'd imagine.
Of course. Like that's always how it is.
And he was just like, you know. I remember him being very tall. I should check in with Scott because I probably am remembering it.
Yeah,
completely.
No, wrong. I know I have a friend, Josh from the Colorado area. Josh from Denver. He knew him. I think he was in that area.
Okay,
but it's kind of things where I almost don't want to meet people. So it's like I don't want to put a face to a name or have anybody really. Yeah, I don't want to know the real person. I just enjoy.
He was pleasant.
The product so much.
Yeah. Oh my God, those calls are so
Elastical amazing. Gomez. Maybe I'll put that at the end of this episode. Do you know the Elastical Gomez?
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to hear it.
It's a prank phone call one. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
I just all of the fact that he just perfectly used all of the pedals and the delays and the it's just like out of nowhere, but it was so good, and the people just going, wait, hello? What?
Yes.
I don't know. It's just perfect.
I know.
It's just perfect because there are prank phone calls that are kind of mean. There's like that side of it where it's really funny, but you kind of feel sorry for the people. And then I feel like these ones, you're just hearing someone just going, why am I? Do I exist? Why am I here? What is happening right now? I like that. I like it when people get kind of put in that in that. That mind frame. I don't know.
Oh, it's so good.
MindSpace.
Mindspace.com. We had it. It was so close. App. It could have been us.
Yeah.
Mindspace
yes.
for the German one.
Mindspace. Well, that might come up too. how things are going
Yeah.
lately,
All right. Go ahead and register that one for me too, if you could. Just hold on to that one
just
for a
in
second. You
case.
never know.
I'm looking to make some money. I'm doing the parking lot
Yeah, of websites. Remember when that was a
of
thing? You could
websites.
just what do they call it? Something
I
sit or claim sit or something. Or you just
don't
register
remember.
a bunch of things. Other people did that on like Twitter for handles and
Yeah.
things, or even Instagrams. You know what I mean? You just snap them all up and wait for somebody
Again,
to
all the
tell
people
you.
at the all the people at the beginning of those, they're all rich. They all
I
made a
don't
ton of
know.
money,
Maybe
or they all
it's
spent it
something.
on
Yeah,
spent it on some
I remember Ronnie
drugs.
from the Muffs, the bass player from the Muffs. I followed him when he was on Instagram. Well, he still is, but when he first joined, he joined as David Lee Roth. That was his Instagram name. And then one day I realized I was following the real David Lee Roth. That like he took over the name, or somehow I think we must have contacted him if I ever interview
Wow.
Ronnie, which I'd love to do for the podcast. But I would love to know the background of that story, and if someone from David Lee Roth, maybe it's his lawyer, contacted me. There was no real David Lee Roth in there, but
Oh my
it's pretty
God.
funny.
I love that.
Yeah. So I want to talk about Black Eyes, and
Oh yeah.
and then I could talk about more dumb stuff that I did this week. But I also want to talk about Black Eyes.
Yeah.
Had you heard them before? Had you?
I didn't. No,
Yeah.
I was confused
Oh,
at
okay.
first because I was like, because at the
You thought
early
I was talking to
2000s.
Fergie and Will I Am.
Well, there's the Black
What am
Eyed
I gonna
Peas.
do with all
There's
this
that.
junk? All this junk
There's
inside
that.
the trunk.
He is from LA, so, or
It
they
could
are from
happen.
LA.
Yeah.
So, but no, because there were so many there's like Black Dice,
Oh, right. Yes.
Black Eyes,
Black Lips.
Black Lips. It
Yeah.
was a very and so I'm like, I have to have heard this band before. And then, but when I listened to them, I don't think I had, but oh my God, those records are amazing.
So good, right?
So,
yeah, it was kind
so
of
good.
It was kind of a DC centered, sort of ESG disco noise,
Yeah.
sort of in the vein of a Fugazi, kind of more out there kind of band. I don't know, but I remember, those early days of touring. Our first tours in 2003, and we stayed with Hugh and played at his place, and it was amazing. Just a warehouse, in the DC area, and they were friends with the Q and Not You band, who I didn't know that much about, but I knew they were popular of that sort of early aughts Discord, sort of the last sort of generation of Discord things happening, in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And so cool. They were just such a cool band. It was so catchy, but it was very much of that time of where you kind of like disco punk, but they were definitely on the noisier side of things.
Yeah. No, like super heavy and
out there with sax and sounds and art cut up.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it was cool to hear that Ian actually did those first two records, and to hear that when you guys were talking about the recording process and them just kind of getting into that.
What a dream, right?
I don't know, it was cool.
Not only to have Ian put your record out on Discord, but to have him produce your record and all of the stuff that he brought with him from all the records he's made in his life. I mean, what a cool just set of, how many people can say they've done that in their life.
Right. And that he is such kind of an enigma, and that you feel like because of what you've heard about him, and then the shows you've seen, if you're lucky enough to have seen him play in any of his bands, and like the way that he talks to the crowd, and he's, the interviews, and he seems so kind of he just seems like this hardline kind of I have all my ideas and they're going to be he just seems like that guy sometimes. And so then you forget that he is this extremely creative, guy who is a musician and also goes to shows every single night or whatever. For whenever, the interviews, he's like, I try to go to as many shows as I can. I love seeing live music. I love finding new bands, and someone who's like the curator of a scene, but also of a whole city, of a scene within a city. And you forget that he's also this it's almost like this loving thing, that this other side of it, right? You see the kind of I'm going to be this kind of hard-nosed guy that has these answers and whatever. And then you also it's like the complete opposite of like this big like fluffy teddy bear guy who's like, dude, come be on my label, I love your band, like the amount of bands that he has just cultivated or just kept going. I don't know if cultivated, but like the
Supported,
fact that
but yeah,
supported, but also the fact
boosted,
that he is so kind of like hard-nosed business wise, had an idea, stuck with it, like didn't really falter. Like the idea that he had from the beginning just kept going and was profitable enough to keep going. And then the fact that he just kept it going and that it's still going and that it's still like supporting bands and that it's still, and that he still is like, well, we're archiving everything and we're putting everything online so that everybody can hear everything. And we're doing streaming because like, yeah, of course I probably should hate streaming, but like, I want everybody to hear the stuff, and we don't do contracts. You just hear all that stuff like, who is this guy? But you forget that he's a musician, and you forget that he still records bands, and you forget that he's super creative, and you forget all of those things too. So it's cool to hear the stories about like, yeah, like he gives us pointers of how to record, and like, oh, right. He's just like a guy.
You don't hear that
it's
side
so
of it
cool.
a lot. You know what I mean? And the people have worked
it's
with
so cool to hear.
Yeah. And kind of in that creative sort of world too, of all of the stuff he's made. I mean, it's art, it's an expression, you know what I mean? I think I get what you're saying there too, where there's a sense of kind of masculinity that isn't necessarily always, associated with that style of, artistic expression too in some ways, but I don't think that was of his own making, but it just sort of it's almost like he and I'm sure he doesn't look at it this way, but there is a sense of like people, the imitators or the followers of who people who purported to be fans, or kind of done work after that. They're just like, oh, well, those guys are annoying, but the guy doing it like is actually very down to earth and very sort of like pragmatic and creative and adventurous and experimental. But but you look at like American hardcore, as a genre, or straight edge hardcore, or anything, or this kind of legacy that has nothing really to do with him, but it sort of harkens back to the influence, or is cited as an influence on so many things. And you're like, well, those guys are no fun, but Ian's super fun. He's very like candid and very loose and very, self-effacing and down to earth. And it's like, well, but everybody else is so serious, so they're dogmatic, I think, is, that sort of thing. You're like, well, I don't think that was part of his vibe. That wasn't what he was trying to do. But at the same time, how long are you going to go around playing whack-a-mole with people trying to correct people who are like, I really like your band. Like, yeah, but you suck. So stop telling people you like my band. It's a losing battle. I think you just say thank you and move on. And then people have to either like it or not. But Black Eyes are super cool. And I was just thinking it was really exciting. A year ago, or a little bit more than a year ago, they asked us if we wanted. They said they were reuniting and asked if we wanted to play the LA show. And that was really fun.
That's awesome.
So, I think they were breaking up like right around that time. I think they were still a band when we first came on tour, but they were like a bigger band with like, on a record label and stuff. And we were very much a baby band who were just kind of, playing to 5 people in warehouses or trying to jump on bills with 5 other bands. And hopefully you can get 50 people there. So,
how did you get in touch with them originally?
I think Dean must have reached out. So I think those early tours he would book through MySpace or through different people, or the Book Your Own Life, or just calling people or trying to find friends of friends, or, just kind of cold calling things. And that must have been how it was. Yeah. I don't think we had anything in particular. I think for that first tour, we originally had a tour booked in 2003, opening for The Locust and Dillinger Escape Plan. I think we were going to be the first band on a few of those shows. I don't think we were going to do the whole thing, but it was enough to sort of like anchor a tour. But that was that was lined up to where we were going to leave on a Sunday, and I got hit by a car on my bike on a Friday or something like, or we're going to leave on the Monday. And then I was in the hospital for 3 days in a coma. So with a broken neck and everything. And so I think we postponed those shows like 3 months or something, and then booked some other shows. But when we had a couple, and this was all Dean. I mean, he was the booking machine. I had, even if I didn't have brain damage and a broken neck, I still wouldn't have known how to, even with a good brain. And I couldn't have done it. But he was good at doing all that stuff and still is. But we were able to be first on a bill with Lightning Bolt and USA's a Monster, and thinking like New Orleans and Atlanta and maybe one other show too.
That's probably better. That's like a better bill for you guys anyway.
Yeah.
Like the Dillinger Escape Plan
would have been a little bit.
Locust would have been a little weird.
Macho. And I think they had like a tour bus and stuff. It would have been a different world. But no, we were like driving around in Dean's dad's old like van conversion. Remember they'd have these like carpet kits in a van and like captain's chairs and leather armrests. Dean's dad had one of those from the 80s. And the license plate said Spunt 5. And so Dean got this van from his dad. And then he built a loft in the back and had a futon mattress from his uncle's futon shop, from the back there. And so we drove the Spunt 5 for that. And then we met up with this other band. God, what were they called? Hail Zukas. They were from the Bay Area and they were cool. They were all like members of other bands, so like A Minor Forest. John was in that band and they're members of other bands, and so it was fun. So we met up with them in New York or just after New York, and then did a bunch of shows with them. It was also, we played with Wrangler Brutes, who were members of all these other things. It was like Men's Recovery Project and it was, and Casual Dots, who were members of Quixotic. They were from LA, but they were playing New York because they had records coming out around that time. So I remember we played the original Knitting Factory with them, and Guy Picciotto, I think I've told this story, from Fugazi, came to that show. And I took a Polaroid with him where I look like I'm crying. I'm like, oh God, can you take this picture? Oh my God. I just felt so bad because the camera wasn't working. I asked Jim from the Smell. Jim flew out to New York. It was our first time in New York. Just to take that photo of me, like looking.
Jim, get out here quick.
Oh God, Jim, can you take a picture of me with Guy? This is exciting. But I also have a great picture of us all like brushing our teeth, like in the bathroom at the Knitting Factory. It was just weird stuff because we're like basically at that point like homeless, but 22 years old and homeless, and I just survived this gnarly accident. Like I was on some kind of like just I don't know, silver lining. Yeah, something. It's just like, okay, this is why there's a reason for me to be alive. And it's to be homeless in this van playing out of tune, aggressive, art music every night to people in basements. But so then to play a place like the Knitting Factories, we're like, wow, this is so cool. This is huge. We're meant to be doing the right thing, and then just ad nauseum. Then fast forward another 22 years, and then I didn't think I was going to live that long. I think I was like, okay, well, maybe I got another couple of years out of this. Let's put on this earth for some reason to be crazy.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But yeah, that was kind of Black Eyes in that time. And then I remember we would see them. Jacob moved to San Francisco and had a band called Miami that looked like Miami, but we played with them, Miami, at the bottom of the hill, a couple shows. Okay. And we kept in touch, because again, they all were, they were cool and stuff. So it was fun to see them kind of reunite and play the old songs, and now, doing a proper new record. I mean, that's a hard one to do, right? Like a reformed band putting out a good record. I feel like you could really count those, like, it's definitely under 10. I don't know. I feel like Dinosaur Jr. have put out good records post reunion. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't think of it. Aerosmith, the 90s Aerosmith, when they just had Diane Warren, like they used songwriters. They stopped writing their own songs and just became like, when they figured out that every Aerosmith song, as long as it starts with the chorus, we're good. It's going to be a hit. Crying, lying, trying. Yeah. Dying. Yeah.
The more scarves, the better. Let's go. I mean, I saw Steven Tyler at Coachella once.
Oh,
not playing, solo? Just sitting in the just sitting in the VIP with he had a bunch of young ladies around him that were like maybe
his children,
girlfriends,
his
daughters. I don't know. I couldn't tell. Yeah, they were young enough. They were definitely young enough to be his grandchildren, maybe. But he is a very small guy.
Is he?
But he still he was like cowboy boots and it looked good.
This was a while ago. There was a great meme going around. It was like old rockers or grandmas. And there was it was like a grid
Oh my
of
God.
faces,
Totally.
and you
Yep.
just try to see like, okay, is this someone's grandma or the singer in a stadium rock act? It was hard. It was harder
Yeah.
to pick out anything.
Musicians like getting very like a touring musician, like someone who's constantly touring, getting old. It doesn't happen very gracefully very often. I feel like Paul
Oh.
McCartney still looks good.
He stopped
Looks
dyeing his
great.
hair, which is probably for the
Ringo.
best. He had the weird
Okay.
like fluffy gray roots and like a bad chestnut sort of like
Oh, did he?
popped up for a while, for a lot of years. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't blame him.
Ringo
but-
Starr. Ringo looked
Oh.
good. I feel like those guys look good
yeah.
into their 70s.
Yeah,
But like anybody, the rockers, ooh,
That's a hard
although
life.
Lemmy,
it's a hard life.
I saw Lemmy a couple times later on in his life. He still looked the same. He
Yeah,
looked the exact same from when he was 30.
Pickled
He
himself. There's something about that too. Yeah,
he pickled himself.
Yeah, you could like flip a coin. I think on some of these people, you know, where it's like either all the drugs like just preserved them and like mummified them at a certain age.
Yeah.
Between the
Like
leather,
Keith Richards.
the leather and drugs just sort of like stopped time, or it accelerated it. Like so they're in their 30s and they look like they're 70s old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's maybe the thing. Like the Lemmy, when he was in his 30s, actually looked like he was in his 50s, and then he just caught up to his own.
Yeah,
self.
right. That's the best way to do it. Is to
in
your 20s start off with the beanie, start off with some kind of headgear, so that way if you lose the hair and just loose enough clothes, you can grow into them a little bit.
Yeah,
I think the Ramones were all wearing wigs by the end. I think Marky Ramone still wears a wig.
Okay,
and
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's part of the thing.
How are you gonna know you're a Ramone if you don't have the
you need the hair, right?
But it's cool because then you can just take the hair off, and then most people will have no idea.
Exactly. That's the best of both worlds. You could be a rock star, or
like,
just take the hair off.
It's like ZZ Top. It's like, well, just shave the beard.
Or,
no one will know the difference. No one will know who you are.
Or just take the beard off. Maybe that's
take the beard off.
And the weird African beanie. I mean, like,
Oh my God.
Billy Gibbons has a very unique look that's
his
been
look
cultivated
is
for years. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, Billy Gibbons was one of Jimi Hendrix's favorite guitar players. Isn't that weird?
How does that work? Okay. I guess, the age.
Jimi Hendrix, like when they asked like Jimi Hendrix what's it like being the best guitar player in the world, he goes, I don't know. Ask Billy Gibbons.
That's a good story. The story I heard was that his band, the Moving Sidewalks, the Billy Gibbons band before ZZ Top, were opening for Hendrix, and they would stay up and play, even after hours, or like show them, just they had jam sessions and stuff.
Yeah.
So he might have. Yeah, I could believe it. Sure, why not?
I like that. I like that story.
Yeah, I like that.
Hey.
Yeah, it's so funny. All of those stories. I keep flashing on Billy Bob Thornton. He like turned into a weird pirate. that's the dark side of how not to look like a rock star. I think there's something about like you just keep putting scarves on and hats and earrings and shit just keeps dangling on you, and you're like, I don't know, this is some kind of like traveling. I don't know.
It's got to be so weird to be that famous.
I think it's not kidnap Pinocchio or like make you walk the plank.
Yeah, I don't think it's natural. I think there's a very small number of or percentage of the population that could actually deal with that well, because most of those guys like. It's like, what is the pirate? Like the pirate thing is a thing, right? Johnny Depp went through it.
Yeah.
Keith Richards went through it.
Still does it.
I mean, Keith Richards might have started it.
Yeah.
And then everybody else just
Little
wants
Steven from the E Street Band. Yeah, he's very pirate coded.
Yeah. Pirate coding.
Hey, can I get some of that pirate coding applied to me? Can we get a shellacking of pirate code over here? We need some of that. It's getting a little long on the tooth.
Someone told me last night that I need to watch the new Billy Bob Thornton show. Did you know about this show?
Which one? New one? Oh, Landman.
Landman.
No, it's of the I don't know. It's of the Yellowstone universe, and that instantly puts me off.
I tried to watch Yellowstone, and I couldn't.
Gonna go there.
Couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do with that whatever you will. If that's your jam, then you're stoked. Okay. I guess. I tried watching Goliath. I think that was one, or somebody. He was like a lawyer living in like Santa Monica, and That sucked. He's like an alcoholic lawyer. It's like,
Okay.
this doesn't feel fun.
He has been trying to get back into things lately, huh?
I guess so. Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't want to stop working.
Yeah, bills to pay.
What? Oh yeah, my my Rockford Files viewing has been going very well. I'm now on to season 2, and boy, I tell you, it just gets better. They're like little movies, is like what it feels like. And again, not to to really put a fine point on the old man shaking his fist at clouds, but wow, TV shows in the 70s, really a whole different breed. I mean, they're like little like 45-minute like murder mysteries. And every week he's like, how does he end up here? Like, well, my car broke down and I'm at the shop and I was looking for this guy who skipped bail, or looking for this guy, client hired me to find this guy. And now he's wrapped up in some kind of like, drug laundering money scheme, and the cops are in on it, and he's got to break out and call his dad, and it's great. But they all film in Southern California, so you're still like, I think they like maybe season 1 they really exhausted like LA and like Universal City, all the locations they could film close to the lot. So now they're going out to like Ojai, or they're going out towards like, I don't know, Palm Springs,
PCH.
Yeah, there's always a lot of PCH. Well, that was in the first season too, because he lived out on the beach, or still lives on the beach.
God, so much of the 80s.
Great.
I think the 80s, also 80s peak TV, peak Los Angeles, actually peak Los Angeles TV, like Los Angeles, Southern California based, like
totally. Three's Company, all there right on the Santa Monica Pier.
That's right. And I mean, just every show. I feel like every show.
Those openings of the Three's Company are amazing. They do one at the LA Zoo from the 80s. That's great. Like every year.
Really?
If you just watch like 80s shows, like theme song, like because they would change them every season too, usually. They'd add a new cast member, or take cast member out, or just update the song, or shoot new footage. It's great.
Yeah.
Hunter. Did you ever watch Hunter? Have we talked about this? I loved Hunter as a kid. This Fred Dreyer, who was, I didn't know this at the time, but he was like a quarterback of like a football team. And he almost got the Cheers. He almost got the Ted Danson role, but he couldn't act that well. He wasn't that funny, but he was charming enough. And he's probably 6'4" and, male pattern baldness, but he's a LAPD detective, and he's teamed with a sassy, brunette, dark haired, partner. And, it was great. Hunter was awesome too. It was it was like,
we'll have to get into
this. It was like before, like pre-Sledgehammer. Remember, it says Sledgehammer was sort of the spoof, like the late 80s spoof of all like the LA cop shows.
No,
it was a spoof on Dirty Harry. This actor's been in a lot of things, but Sledgehammer is amazing.
Getting into this 80s TV.
I lived this 80s TV, I guess, what I mean? Like the A-Team and all that stuff. I mean, that was my,
I remember all of that stuff. Yeah, for sure.
But the minutia of it is where it gets really good. I'm telling you, the Rockford Files. If anybody out there, theme song slaps. Okay. I'll put Rockford theme song at the end and Elastical Gomez at the end, just so everyone knows where we're at here. But Rockford Files song, I mean, I'm within like another month of just covering this Rockford Files theme song.
Yes, I remember my mom watching the Rockford Files for sure.
Right?
Like coming in and being like, okay. It's just like one of those, everything was cops,
Barney Miller,
investigators.
Remember Barney Miller? That had a great theme song. Boom,
But then we'd watch like the Jeffersons too.
Oh, that's great.
The Jeffersons and then
Good Times
went into Good Times, and then that went into the Cosby Show, and then you had the 5 spin-offs from all the kids at college.
Different Strokes.
Different Strokes. Different Strokes was earlier.
Oh, what was the Denise one where she went living? What was it called? Oh, it was so good. They're at Hellman, the Black University with Dwayne Wayne. He had the flip up glasses.
Dwayne Wayne. Yeah.
Why am I not getting the name? Somebody out there is yelling in their car right now. It's,
Oh my God, I can see it.
Okay, I'll find it.
New. Something new. New World. No, Brave New World. No, World. Something World.
A Different World. There we
different
go.
world.
Nice.
Yeah.
No,
Brave New Different World.
Yeah. The Cosby, coming out as a horrible monster, worse than Halloween monster himself. Like such a bummer. From. I mean, I love Cosby in so many ways. There was such an influential thing in life. I mean, I feel like my mom growing up wished Ricky and Lucy were her mom and dad. I feel like I grew up wishing Bill Cosby was my dad.
Yeah.
and Felicia Rashad and those brothers and sisters. I loved when they would do like the music things. They would like lip sync to songs. They do like the big family performances. Do you
Yeah,
remember
and
this?
they'd go visit.
Oh, so good. The
They
the,
go
the
visit.
grandma and the grandpa. Oh, Stevie
Yeah, and
Wonder.
they went and visited like
Stevie Wonder in the
Stevie
studios.
Wonder,
Jamming
and
on the
it was
one.
the first time that
Jamming on the
they
one.
show that. Dude, totally.
Robert.
Isn't that crazy?
Robert. Showing off the early sample technology. I
Yeah,
love
like
that
this is
episode.
crazy.
Oh, and
Showing
Bud,
sampling and everything.
Rudy's little friend Bud. Like,
Yep.
who are you? I'm Bud.
Yeah.
Amazing. What,
So
what?
good.
It's very tainted, the show, obviously. That's just like our childhood in general. But
yeah,
it was a hard one.
Well, and I heard a woman talking about this, but just talking about entertainment and TV, and they were like, it was very strange because in the 80s, when all that was happening, like the Jeffersons, and there was this hugely popular like television that was centered around the Black family,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that, but then she was kind of explaining it in this way of like, but it's different now because there's like Black TV and there's white TV, right? There's like, and it's very separate. But before that, when it was the Cosby Show and A Different World, and it was like centered around like Black family, Black culture, everything, but it was not considered Black TV.
Right.
It was just primetime.
Yeah.
It was mainstream primetime television. But the same thing with Sesame Street, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like mainstream. That's just what it was. That was PBS. That was Sesame Street. And it wasn't like, oh my God, this is this separate thing that we're finding and everything is separate. And, I would go on, but I would butcher exactly what she was saying. No, but she was explaining like that basically what happens in the US and the culture is that something that is centered around the Black experience becomes popular and becomes too popular. And then the people that are in charge go, this is never happening again. And they will cut off, what do you say? Cut off your nose to spite your face.
Yeah.
Like, even though it's making the most money, the most everything, they're like, no, we can't have this happen. And she just was going through these times when that happened of like the most popular thing that was happening and just gets cut off from, because like too many people are watching it and this isn't American. Like we can't have this. And basically the conversation ended with her talking about Obama.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Which is like, yeah, look what happened after Obama.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, no, we're never having anyone that popular again running anything who's not white. This is not happening. And then, the next 12 years, fun times.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting because I hadn't really thought about it that way, in the sense of like, yeah, when we were kids, like we grew up with, it was like the Cosby Show, Different World, but Seinfeld and, Friends and whatever. But these things were all just right after one after another, or just on different days, but all at the same time. And it wasn't like you had to go to like BET to see certain stuff. Mm-hmm. And you had to go to the country music station to see certain, because also like the Grand Ole Opry was on when I was a kid. It was just like every Saturday or whatever. And then the Muppet Show would have like everybody perform, right? It was like, there wasn't a big deal to have Prince. It wasn't a big deal to then the next week have Johnny Cash. And there wasn't it was so diverse.
America. Yeah.
And it was just like, it wasn't this, like, it wasn't so polarized. There obviously were issues.
Obviously.
Right? Like there were tons of issues. We're only talking about
and the media
entertainment
and these
sphere.
things were, we're not.
This was like entertainment,
documentary filmmaking. This was there was a whitewashing of, the representation. But the one thing I was going to say is that I was aware it's almost the different side of the same coin. Is there was a in the mid to late 70s there was the opposite, where white entertainment had to be I'm spacing on the name of it, what they called it, but it was like basically like anti-hee-haw. They had to take the hick out of all the white representation, or the country out of all the white representation that was on TV.
Interesting.
That like there would not be things like hee-haw or the Dukes of Hazzard or the Grand Ole Opry or these types of representations, the Beverly Hillbillies, that there was some kind of mandate from whether it was a network person or government, interference, but there was some kind of message from on high that white representation should not be seen as poor and dumb and from the country and these, sort of things. Because I think it was really popular. There again, that was a popular sort of depiction of white culture,
definitely
in movies and TV and everything.
Those Duke boys.
Yeah. So, just in those same kind of ways where it's like, it's pulling down positive representations of other races and then also overinflating, the cultural representations of one race or another. It's a nightmare, but it's fun to, it's
a nightmare,
but it's fun to, but again, just as from a cultural perspective, I think having some sense of context like that, but even for me, I think I'm still I've reached this official age of like, okay, there's very few newer things that are happening, and again, not saying there aren't new things out there, but I'm just starting to get that thing of like, just like I like looking back in music and stuff. It's like, all right, watching this old TV is kind of fun. Like I have the patience for it. And the kids are just old enough where they're watching their own stuff. So we're not constantly just, have Cartoon Network and SpongeBob on 24/7.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, if I could get the TV back for like an hour, what am I going to do? I'm like, Rockford. And they're satisfied. They're good little like mysteries. It's kind of like Murder, She Wrote or something, but like, but then you just see all the gases, whatever, 10 cents, and they all got cool cars, and LA just looks cool, and everything just feels
dust everywhere.
Yeah. It's all dusty.
Like every time they drive, it's just dusty.
Green shag carpets and motels, with like carved wooden headboards, and it's with different kinds of plaids. He has like a plaid pants, and there's a plaid what do you call it, like wallpaper behind him, and then this guy's got a weird like a polyester jacket on, some cowboy boots,
some good one-liners.
It's good, yeah. And I feel like too, it's written to an audience, where it's not like spoon feeding you everything. It's like a mystery, so you kind of have to follow up and go, wait, double cross. It can be cheesy, and there's always going to be a chase, and there's always going to be something, it becomes formulaic when you watch 6 of them in a row. So you have to space it out.
You have to take some time. Back when all the cars could do burnouts,
when all cars had 10 hubcaps.
Any car you bought,
yeah.
They were all V8s.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I love it. All right. Well, let's wrap this one up, and then I'm going to go ahead and play. I'll start with the Rockford File theme song, which again, just listen how awesome these synths are. Synths and chromatic harmonica. I mean, where's Daft Punk when you need it, right? Like who's the cool band who's going to make chromatic harmonicas cool again? Do you know what these are? They're like harmonicas that play like a piano, and they're really big, and they have like levers and slides on them.
And then you still blow into it, right? Yeah. But it's like a little.
Most like harmonicas that we see, are in scale. So you have like one in the key of D or one in the key of G, and you have to. That's why they're always swapping them out on their little like Darth Vader harmonica holder mask for different songs and different keys. But the chromatic harmonica, you needed both hands, and you could play just like you'd play a piano. There's a really great Belgian musician, Toots Thielemans, who's like he's like the biggest jazz musician out of Belgium. It's gorgeous if you're interested more, but he'd got a lot of work on like Quincy Jones arrangements and all through like film and TV scores and soundtracks. So I would imagine like, I think he's the one on like the Sesame Street song. If you have a harmonica, if you hear a harmonica in the 70s, it's probably Toots.
That's amazing.
But it's so cool. It's such a cool instrument.
They use it on dub music a lot.
Do they? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We have to just create this genre. I think you just created.
I might be thinking of a harmonium.
Yeah, that's different. I think that has keys. It's like a keyboard kind of thing. But yeah, Rockford theme song into Elastical Gomez from Longmont Potion Castle. These are things that live in my mind rent free. So I'm inflicting them on the rest. I'm unleashing the horrors that are inside my brain on the rest of the world. This is the true spooky month of October. I will just let everything that I get stuck in loops in my brain. I wake up in the morning singing songs and have like old science fiction robots and music in my head. So I'm going to end every month of the show with "Let the Demons Out" of Pandora's Box.
Welcome to Randy's mind.
Here's-
You put delay on that if you want.
Yes, it is happening. All right. Well, I hope everyone's well, and more fun interviews, and give me some updates on Noisevember. If you are a noise artist or in the proximity of a noise artist, reach out to us, hyphenate@gmail.com, or on the Instagrams at Randy S. Randall, at Aaron Farley, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
But I'll put delay on that too.
Bye.
This is Jim Rockford. At the tone, leave your name and message. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, I need to talk to Gomez and stuff.
This is not the Gomez residence. This
No.
number has been ours for over a year, but we get Gomez calls all the time.
No, I am Gomez, I said.
You are?
Yes.
Yes?
I need to know what my call activity has been over the last 15 or 18
Why do you
months.
need to know that? Why do I have your telephone number and I keep getting all your phone calls?
That's exactly what I'm calling. Frankly, I don't like the attitude that you've been giving my customers, you know.
Excuse me, this is my residence. All I said
But this
was,
is my business, you know.
no one ever said it was a business. They asked for Gomez.
Look,
So-and-so Gomez, by a lady's name usually.
don't talk to me about my business, young lady. Okay, that's what I have to say to you.
Hello?
Hello, ma'am.
Mr. Gomez, if you have a problem because people are calling me for you, you need to call the phone company. Which is what I intend to do as soon as I hang up the phone.
No, you know, look, you give me problems about my business.
No, excuse me. I don't give you problems about your business. When people call here, they ask for Ruben Gomez or some other woman. I say, I'm sorry, this isn't the Gomez residence.
No,
That's my answer. I don't know what you do for a business. I could care less.
I deal with Elastico Gomez, man.
I don't know that name.
What is your name, you know?
What's the difference? This is my phone number. I don't need to give you any information. This is the number that was assigned to me more than a year ago.
You know, I have many people in my line of work, you know.
So?
I'm a very wealthy man.
I don't care.
Very powerful man. Very
I don't care.
extravagant man.
I don't care. All I'm saying is we get phone calls all the time for Gomez. We always say, this isn't the Gomez residence. We've had this number for about a year now, and I don't know who...
What do you want, jewels?
I want nothing. Leave me
Wealth?
alone.
What do you want?
I want you off my phone. I don't want you to call me again either.
Would you like jewels, madam?
Listen, if you don't get off the phone and you call me again, I'm going to call the police.
Jewels are my business. I'm an extravagant man. That's what I am.
I don't care.
That's my business right there.
I don't care.
Now, look, do you want
Your
wealth?
phone number. What do you want me to do when people call?
Travel the world? What do you want?
I don't want anything. I just don't want you to call me. If people call for you, I just say this is the wrong number.
I've been all around the world, you
I
know.
could care less.
I'm a very, very elegant man.
What do you want from me? What do you want me to do when people call?
I would like you to come work for my business.
Yeah, right. I'm hanging up and I don't wish for you to call back.
Look, I am Gomez, okay?
I don't care.
That's who I am. What do you want? Jewels? Gold? What do you want?